What's up everyone, Piscean here. In this video we're going to go over Telluric Astrology, and this time I'm going to look into this Telluric Astrology with the help excuse me of Perplexity AI agent. And Perplexity basically helped craft this PDF so I can bring it to you guys in this format. Now I know there's a lot of drama going on with AI, and really quick before I get started with this video I'm just going to address that, because in the future I might get a lot of flack for making these videos using AI to help. And I'm just gonna say right off the bat, I had no idea that Sam Altman, the owner and creator of ChatGPT, is actually someone who's very nefarious, and I'm not gonna address what the individual did, but you can look it up and see for yourself. I've only used ChatGPT a handful of times on this channel. I will not be using it again. I do currently still use Teamly AI Agent, Perplexity, Claude Anthropic, and I know a lot of people would say, well, you use Grok and that's by Elon Musk. Well, hold on a second, because Grok AI, believe it or not, is actually a very fast-paced AI, and I'm only using it to bring you guys astrology. That is it. And you say, well, you can say the same thing for ChatGPT. I'm not actually supporting these people. I'm using it for free. I am not paying to use these sites. Let me repeat myself. I have not paid to use these sites. I have not paid any AI company to use their tools. I'm on their free, perfectly free site. So let's jump into this video, the astrology of planet Earth, or Telluric Astrology with Perplexity AI. So this is a dossier, the third one, but this time it's from a different agent, on Earth's cosmic position and daily human impact. So please check out my other videos if you would like to. In this video we're going to look at the three Earth lenses, being geocentric, heliocentric, and the Earth system, as well as solar system astrocartography map with live ephemeris data, Earth and Moon barycenter, the hidden pivot point, exile tilt, declination, and seasonal portals, 6 original methodologies for daily Earth reading, and planet-by-planet Earth contact analysis. So let's jump right into it. Really quick, this is a reference. Ephemeris date is going to be August 6th for 2026, 12 UTC. All planetary positions are computed with the Swiss ephemeris, a symbolic framework, not a scientific or medical claim. So here's a quick disclaimer again. This dossier uses astrology as a symbolic interpretive framework. So references to Earth's influence on human beings are astrological symbolism, not scientific or medical claims. All astronomical data is real and computed from ephemeris standards. So the thesis here is excuse me, Earth as a missing planet. So every natal chart ever cast has been geocentric, drawn as if Earth stands still at the center of the cosmos while all other bodies circle around it. This is observationally correct. We experience the sky from the ground we stand on, but it means Earth itself never appears in the chart. The very planet we inhabit, the one whose rotation generates the ascendant, whose exile tilt creates the seasons, whose moon drives the tides, remains invisible, implicit, taken for granted. This dossier corrects that omission. It treats Earth as an astrological body in its own right, examines its cosmic position from multiple vantage points, and maps how that position translates into daily symbolic weather for every human being. On Earth, of course. Not those on Mars and, in their bunkers. If you know, you know. The approach is rigorously grounded in real astronomy. All planetary positions are computed with the Swiss ephemeris. That'll be JPLDE 431 for the reference date of this document. But the interpretive framework is explicitly astrological. Alright, so we have the three Earth lenses. Earth operates simultaneously as three distinct astrological entities, each requiring its own interpretive logic. We kind of saw a similar rhythm here in the Claude Anthropic version of this video, so check it out. Where we go over the geocentric Earth this time, the observer. And I did not mean to do that. So Earth as the embodied vantage point. We see that it becomes the ascendant, as well as houses, as well as local horizon, and meridian. These are all products of Earth's rotation. So, this is the Earth of traditional astrology, implicit but omnipresent. And then we see the heliocentric Earth, or the planet itself. Earth is a plotted body orbiting the Sun. Its heliocentric longitude is always exactly 180 degrees from the geocentric Sun. Where the Sun's sign describes how identity radiates, the Earth sign describes how that identity grounds in matter and collective participation. And the Earth system, the biosphere. So Earth as a physical system, and that would include the axial tilt, rotation, moon barycenter complex, as well as magnetic field, tides, and atmosphere. So these mechanisms generate the rhythmic cycles that astrologers interpret as planetary energies. Geocentric versus heliocentric Earth. So the geocentric chart maps how the cosmos appears from Earth's surface, while the heliocentric chart maps how the solar system actually is from the Sun's perspective. Now both are valid. They answer different questions. The geocentric chart asks, what does the sky look like to me? While the heliocentric chart asks, where is Earth in the solar system right now? The geocentric perspective. So, in geocentric astrology, Earth is the silent center. We see that every house system, whether it's Pisces, Cook, Equal, or a whole sign, it derives from Earth's rotation and the local horizon. The ascendant is the degree of the ecliptic rising over the eastern horizon at the moment of birth. Okay? So that's the rising sign. That's why we get that name, rising sign. The midheaven is the degree culminating at the local meridian. Both depend on Earth's 23.93 hour rotation period and the observer's geographic latitude. Earth's doesn't appear in the chart because it is the chart's frame. The heliocentric perspective. Shift the vantage point to the Sun and Earth becomes visible. Its position is always exactly opposite the geocentric Sun. So for example, we see a geocentric Sun at 15 degrees Leo produces a heliocentric Earth at 15 degrees Aquarius. And this is not symbolic, it is pure geometry. The two bodies are the same two bodies, viewed from opposite ends of the same line. And these signs are also opposite in regards to the element and the way that they even behave. Their archetypes of Leo and Aquarius, they're opposites for a reason. And they are also so similar. So here is a current reference data for August 6th, which we're long past because as I'm filming this, it's already August 23rd. In this, we see planetary positions for August 6th, 2026, 12 UTC, geocentric and heliocentric longitudes computed with the Swiss ephemeris. And we're going to look at the body and being the planet, okay? As well as, give me one moment, I'm so sorry. I get distracted in my videos all the time because I have people texting me and then I have people emailing and I'm like, always something to respond to. Alright, so we're also looking at the geocentric longitude, the declination, and the heliocentric longitude. So we see the Sun, the geocentric longitude here is 14 degrees Leo, with remembering that these are arc seconds. We see just one, and when we see two, those are arc minutes. Actually, I did that wrong. I'm tweaking. Sorry, guys. I'm pretty sure I meant to say arc minute. And then arc seconds are back here. Sorry about that. Okay, so 3 arc minutes, 11 arc seconds. And the declination for the sun on this date is adding 16 degrees 36 arc minute. With the heliocentric longitude, there isn't one. So then we see that the moon on this date is at 19 degrees Taurus, 1743, adding 22 degrees 31 in declination, with the heliocentric longitude becoming 14 degrees Aquarius 11. Mercury is at 25 degrees Cancer, 2253, adding 20 degrees 19 in declination. The heliocentric longitude became 29 degrees Aries, 54. Venus, 29 degrees Virgo, 4146 geocentric, subtracting 0 degrees 21 in declination, and heliocentric 25 degrees Sagittarius, 59. Mars, Geo, 26 degrees Gemini, 4559, adding 23 degrees 33 declination, and Helio, 26 degrees Taurus, 41. Jupiter, Geo is 8 degrees Leo, 1040, declination adding 18 degrees 41, and Helio 7 degrees Leo 3. Saturn, Geo's 14 degrees Aries 3910, adding 3 degrees 25 in declination. Helio 9 degrees Aries 16. Uranus, Geo 5 degrees Gemini 1041, declination adding 21 degrees 0, and Helio 2 degrees Gemini 23. Neptune, Geo 4 degrees Aries 1055, declination adding 0 degrees 22, and Helio 2 degrees Aries 41. Pluto, Geo 4 degrees Aquarius 251, declination subtracting 23 degrees 24, and Helio 4 degrees Aquarius 19. And then we see the Earth itself as the observer here, so there is no declination, and the heliocentric longitude is 14 degrees Aquarius 3. So we're going to note here that the heliocentric Earth is always 180 degrees from the geocentric Sun. We're also going to note that the absence of retrograde motion in the heliocentric column, from the Sun's perspective, all planets always move forward. So there is no retrogradation. And also, retrograde is purely a geocentrical optical effect caused by Earth's own orbital motion overtaking slower planets. Oh, and when I meant to say no retrograde here, I mean specifically for the Sun, from the Sun's perspective, okay? And here we have what was used, like resources, carriekeelan.net, Swiss ephemeris documentation at astro.com, Astrodienst, as well as astropractice.com. So here is the solar system astrocartography map crafted with Perplexity. Traditional astrocartography, we'll just call it ACG because I've talked about it in so many videos, developed by Jim Lewis in the 1970s, maps where planetary lines fall angular on Earth's surface, showing where a planet is rising, setting, culminating, or at the nadir for a given birth moment. This DOS here introduces an original variant, the Solar System ACG map or Gaia Field map, which inverts the perspective. Instead of mapping planetary lines on Earth, it maps the entire solar system from Earth heliocentric position. The map shows all planets in their actual heliocentric orbital positions for the reference date, with Earth marked as the observer body. Dashed aspect lines connect Earth to any planet forming a major heliocentric aspect. That's going to be a conjunction, an opposition, a square, a trine, or a sextile. These angular relationships between Earth and the other planets, measured from the Sun's perspective, represent what we call Gaia field contacts, the geometric relationships that define Earth's current cosmic orientation. So this is specifically the heliocentric map for the solar system ACG map for August 6th of 2026, okay? So each planet is positioned at its true heliocentric longitude for the reference date, We see that orbital radii are compressed using a logarithmic scale for readability. Dashed lines indicate major heliocentric aspects to Earth. And then we have a key right there, which shows us that this is our conjunction, so we can clearly see that Earth is making a conjunction with it doesn't look like any of the planets, but it is making an opposition. As we can see, the Sun is right here on that line, and Jupiter is right there. Then we see a sextile with Saturn and the Earth. However, we do not see the conjunction, square, or trine. And I'm saying this because Venus is right here. We don't see it making any lines. We see Mars right here, close to Mercury, but not making any lines. This is a very different diagram than from my other videos, where it was a little bit more detailed in the sense that every planet was making an aspect to the Earth. Oh, Pluto is all the way down here. Interesting. So reading the map, we see the Sun sits at the center, and Earth occupies the third orbit, marked with a highlight ring. Each planet appears at its actual heliocentric longitude, the direction from which it would be seen if you stood on the Sun. Dashed color lines connect Earth to planets currently forming major aspects. The aspect color indicates the type. We see rust for conjunction, red for opposition, orange for square, green for trine, and teal for sextile. So current guide field context, we see the following table lists all major heliocentric aspects between the Earth and other planets as of August 6, 2026. We call them guide field contacts between the Earth and other planets. You see the planets, heliocentric long, separation from Earth, aspect, and orb. So for example, the Moon, Helios 14 degrees, Aquarius 11, 0.1 degree separation, conjunction, orb is adding 0.1 degrees. Jupiter, Helios 7 degrees, Leo 3, separating from the Earth 173.0 degrees, opposition, and subtracting 7.0 degrees. Saturn, Helios 9 degrees, Aries 16, separation from Earth 55.2 degrees, sextile, and orb subtracting 4.8 degrees. So these aspects are not the same as geocentric transits. They describe the solar system's internal geometry from the Sun's vantage point. The relationships that exist regardless of where Earth happens to be in its daily rotation. A heliocentric Earth-Saturn square, for instance, persists for weeks as both planets move slowly through their orbits, creating a sustained structural tension that underlies the faster changing geocentric weather. Alright. Daily human timing, the Earth system. Earth's physical mechanism generates the rhythmic cycles that astrologers interpret as daily influences. Every astrological timing system traces back to one of these mechanisms. We see rotation being the ascendant cycle. So Earth completes one rotation in 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 4.1 seconds relative to the fixed star's sidereal day. This rotation sweeps a new degree of the ecliptic over the eastern horizon every 4 minutes, producing the ascendant cycle. In 24 hours, all 12 signs rise and set. This is the most immediate layer of daily astrological timing. The ascendant changes roughly every 2 hours, and the planetary hours cycle throughout each day. we have the moon, the emotional tide. So the moon is the fastest moving astrological body, completing a full zodiacal circuit every 27.3 days. On August 6, 2026, the moon was at 19 degrees Taurus 17, with a phase of waning crescent 45% illuminated. The moon's declination was adding 22 degrees 31. The moon was currently within the bounds. Its declination of adding 22 degrees 31 falls within the sun's maximum range of adding subtracting 23 degrees 27. We see the moon goes out of bounds when its declination exceeds the solar boundary, producing what astrologers consider more unconventional emotional expression. About 15% of lunar positions are OOB. And I'm also hoping to make a complete compendium on lunar cycles, including like void of course moons, full moons, everything. So every lunar cycle and phase explained astrologically. Coming to you soon. Subscribe, like, comment. Alright, so the sun is the daily and annual cycle. We see the sun's apparent motion around the ecliptic. Actually, Earth's orbital motion produces both the daily cycle, day and night, and the annual cycle, seasons. So on August 6th of 2026, the sun's at 14 degrees 3 Leo. 14 degrees Leo 3. So the Earth-Sun distance is 1.0143 AU. We see the seasons here, the axial tilt cycle, Earth's axial tilt of 23.44 degrees, the obliquity of the ecliptic, is the single most important astronomical fact for astrology. It is the reason the sun appears to move north and south throughout the year, creating the solstices, as well as the equinoxes that define the cardinal signs. The tilt oscillates between 22.1 degrees and 24.5 degrees over a 41,000 year cycle, currently decreasing at 46.8 arcseconds per century. Here we see a seasonal wheel with equinoxes, solstices, and axial tilt. Now, to explain it more, this seasonal wheel, it shows the 4 cardinal points that anchor the zodiac. So the vernal equinox is 0 degrees Aries, the summer solstice is 0 degrees Cancer, autumnal equinox is 0 degrees Libra, and winter solstice is 0 degrees Capricorn. We see Earth 23.44 degrees axial tilt is shown at the center here. And right at the bottom we got Libra. On our right we have our summer solstice in Cancer. On our left we have Capricorn's winter solstice. And then we have our vernal equinox, Aries, right on top. And notice how 23.44 degrees is right here sitting in Gemini, and it's affecting our Earth right there. You also notice how these lines are connecting. Like there's always something with Aries, Libra. And I actually have this as Rahu and Ketu in my natal chart. 6-12 axes. Some people have it differently though, because Aries is the natural first house and Libra is the natural 7th house. So, and also, we pulled these from Wikipedia, sidereal year, Earth's sidereal rotation period is 23 hours, 56 minutes, 4.091 seconds. AstroDeans, AstroWiki, out of bounds planets, and axial tilt. So, the Earth, Moon, barycenter, we're going to talk about the hidden pivot, and the Moon does not orbit Earth's center. Both bodies orbit a common center of mass. So, the barycenter is located approximately 4,671 km from Earth's center, or about 1,700 km beneath Earth's surface. Now, at this point, 73.3% of the way from Earth's center to its surface is a true pivot around which both Earth and Moon trace their monthly dance. So the barycenter, or B, it lies inside Earth, 4,671 km from center. Both Earth and Moon orbit this point, not Earth's geometric center. The mass ratio, Earth is 1, and Moon is 0.0123. So right away, what do we notice? The barycenter is 4,671 km from the center, 1,700 km below the surface, 384,400 km. Sitting right there, right up close to the Earth. Meanwhile, the Moon is all the way over here. So, here's the astrological implications. The barycenter introduces a subtle waddle into Earth's motion. As the Moon orbits, Earth's center traces a small circle around the barycenter with a radius of 4,671 km. And this means Earth's position relative to the Sun varies by up to 9,342 km throughout each lunar month. A small distance astronomically, but one that creates measurable variations in the timing of transits, as well as the apparent position of the Sun and the precise moment of planetary stations. In symbolic terms, the barycenter represents the hidden center, the true gravitational anchor that is not what we assume it to be. The Earth we stand on is not the still point we imagine. It is itself in motion around a center of mass that lies deep within its own mantle. This reframes the geocentric chart, because Earth is not the fixed center, but a body in complex motion, orbiting the Sun while simultaneously wobbling around its barycentric pivot with the Moon. So, the Earth is a very, very fascinating planet, and I love finding this out more in detail with you guys, and I hope you guys are enjoying the videos as well. So, we have the lunar barycentric pulse, and we see the barycentric wobble has a period of 27.3 days, the sidereal month. As Earth traces its small circle around the barycenter, the apparent geocentric positions of all planets shift by small amounts. Typically less than 1 arc-minute for outer planets, but up to several arc-minutes for inner planets. These shifts are accounted for in precise ephemeris calculations, but are generally below the threshold of traditional astrological orbs. And we see the Moon's mean distance from Earth is 384,400 km. Its mean orbital speed around the barycenter is 1.022 km per second. And the Moon covers a distance approximately equal to its own diameter each hour, about half a degree on the celestial sphere. And when we talk about the sidereal month and the sidereal year, it's very funny to me and very strange how a lot of people they call themselves astrologers, and I've said this in other videos, they don't even use Vedic astrology. They don't even teach it. They don't want to, because it's all about Western astrology in their eyes, even though they're literally going off of the sidereal year, the sidereal month. They have no idea what they're talking about. And I'm just going to make more videos where I'm actually explaining things step by step. So like every house system explained, with examples and whatnot. Examples and visuals, because that's what I like to bring to this channel, is actual informative astrology knowledge. I'm here to educate you about astrology, and if that's not your vibe, go ahead and click off. Absolutely fine. But I'm going to continue making my videos because it fascinates me. So, Wikipedia, barycenter astronomy, looked at the Earth-Moon barycenter, and also in Wikipedia, orbit of the Moon. We see the mean distance being 384,400 km. Mean orbital speed, we already went over. So, now onto the axial tilt, as well as declination and seasonal portals. So, Earth's axial tilt, or obliquity, is the angle between its rotational axis and the line perpendicular to its orbital plane. What does it mean? Well, it's currently measured at approximately 23.44 degrees as of March 2026. And this tilt There's a reason seasons exist, okay? People can't understand. There's a reason the sun appears to move north and south throughout the year. And the reason the tropics of Cancer and Capricorn exist at adding subtracting 23.44 degrees latitude. Here we see Earth's exile tilt, obliquity of the ecliptic. And we notice that Earth's rotational axis is red. And it's tilted 23.44 degrees from the perpendicular to the ecliptic plane, which is horizontal. The celestial equator is going to be dashed teal, similarly tilted from the ecliptic. This angle defines the sun's maximum declination. So, let's get into this and break it down for you guys. We see Earth's rotational axis, north and south, cutting right through the middle. And then we see this angle. It defines the sun's maximum declination, which is at 23.44 degrees here. We also see, the celestial equator. It's hard to see the dashed line right there, but it's going right through the Earth. And then it's all on, of course, this ecliptic plane. And with the dashes right here, we see that, again, this is all just showing us the exile tilt obliquity in more detail. So declination, we're going to talk about the second dimension. While astrological charts primarily use ecliptic longitude, 360-degree wheel, every planet also has a declination. Its angular distance north or south of the celestial equator. So the sun's declination varies between adding 23.44 degrees the summer solstice and subtracting 23.44 degrees winter solstice throughout the year. When a planet's declination exceeds the sun's maximum of adding subtracting 23 degrees 27, it is said to be out of bounds. Okay? OOB. Operating beyond the sun's jurisdictional range. The moon goes OOB most frequently, 15% of the time, followed by Mars, 17%, Mercury, 13%, and Venus, 12%. Saturn, Neptune, and the Sun never go OOB. When a planet is OOB, astrological tradition interprets its energy as more unconventional, unpredictable, and outside normal parameters. Here is the current declination table. So we notice that the Sun is adding 16 degrees 36, it is in bounds, and it's within the solar range. Moon is adding 22 degrees 31, it's in bounds, it's within the solar range. Mercury is adding 20 degrees 19, it's in bounds, within the solar range. Venus is subtracting 0 degrees 21, it's in bounds, within solar range. We notice that Mars is adding 23 degrees 33, it is out of bounds, however, and beyond the solar range. Jupiter is adding 18 degrees 41, in bounds, within solar range. Saturn is adding 3 degrees 25, in bounds, within the solar range. Uranus is adding 21 degrees 0, in bounds, within solar range. Neptune is adding 0 degrees 22, in bounds, within solar range. And Pluto is subtracting 23 degrees 24, in bounds, within the solar range. So current planetary declinations and out-of-bounds status for August 6, 2026. Here are seasonal portals. We notice that the 4 cardinal points of the zodiac correspond to 4 moments in Earth's orbital journey when the sun's declination reaches an extreme or crosses 0. We notice the portal, approximate date, sun declination, zodiac entry, and symbolic theme. So the vernal equinox, March 20th, 0 degrees crossing north, sun declination, 0 degrees Aries, zodiac entry, birth initiation and new cycle. Summer solstice, June 21st, adding 23.44 degrees maximum, 0 degrees Cancer, peak fruition, maximum light. Autumnal equinox, September 22nd, 0 degrees crossing the south, 0 degrees Libra, balance, harvest, and reflection. And winter solstice, December 21st, subtracting 23.44 degrees minimum, 0 degrees Capricorn, depth, renewal, return of light. These are seasonal portals and their astrological significance. These 4 moments are not arbitrary zodiac injuries, they are physical events caused by Earth's axial tilt interacting with its orbital position. The sun's declination reaching 0 marks the equinoxes, reaching, adding, subtracting 23.44 degrees marks the solstices. Every astrologer who works with the tropical zodiac is knowingly or not working with the Earth's axial tilt. So we, as astrologers, most of us use the tropical zodiac. Big majority. And if you haven't used the tropical zodiac before, can you even call yourself an astrologer? Can you? So, planet by planet Earth contacts. Each planet's current position relative to Earth creates a specific contact signature. The combination of heliocentric aspect, geocentric relationship, angular distance, and declination status. The following analysis covers each planetary body's current relationship to Earth as of the reference date. So current Earth-planet distances for August 6th. These are geocentric distances from Earth to each planet in astronomical units, computed for this day only. We see the Sun is at the lowest, being at 1.014 AU. Moon, then it goes towards Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. So here we see planet by planet Earth contact analysis. For that date again, speed R, it indicates retrograde motion. So we will look at that. Planet, geoposition, helio aspect to Earth, distance, and speed being degrees per day. Okay, so we see Moon. The geoposition is 19 degrees, Taurus 17. Helio aspect to Earth is a conjunction, 0.1 degrees, with that distance and the speed. Notice that the speed, degrees per day, is all going to be 0.0000. From the Moon, through Mercury, through Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. So Mercury's geoposition 25 degrees Cancer, 22, no major aspect, 75.9 degrees with this distance. We see Venus at 29 degrees Virgo, 41, with no major aspect at 48.1 degrees. Mars geoposition 26 degrees Gemini, 45, with no major aspect, 102.6 degrees. Jupiter geoposition 8 degrees Leo, 10, with the helio aspect to Earth being in opposition, 173.0 degrees. We see Saturn's geoposition 14 degrees Aries, 39, making that sextile 55.2 degrees helio aspect to Earth. Here's the distance of this, if you want to look at those. And then Uranus, 5 degrees Gemini, 10, geoposition with no major aspect, is 108.3 degrees. Neptune at 4 degrees Aries, 10, geoposition, no major aspect, 48.6 degrees. And Pluto at 4 degrees Aquarius, 2, with no major aspect, 9.7 degrees. Alright, so the heliocentric aspect column shows each planet's angular relationship to Earth from the Sun's perspective. This is distinct from the geocentric aspect seen in a natal chart. It reveals the solar system's internal geometry, as well as the structural relationships that underlie the faster changing geocentric weather. Alright. So we're going to look at interplanet contacts. Mercury and Venus as inner planets show the greatest divergence between geocentric and heliocentric positions. Geocentrically, they are always within 28 degrees Mercury or 48 degrees Venus of the Sun. Heliocentrically, they can appear anywhere in the zodiac. This means their heliocentric aspects to Earth can form angles impossible in geocentric astrology. For instance, a heliocentric Mercury-Venus trine, which can never occur in a geocentric chart. We are going to make, when I say we, I always say we in a lot of my videos, and I just mean myself and my AI agents. It's funny. There will be another video. I come up with all these ideas while I'm recording. I'm going to make a compendium on heliocentric and geocentric. The uses of them. So yeah, I have a lot of videos coming up. Stay tuned. There will be medical astrology compendium, and it will be survival, because we're going through a lot right now. But y'all are gonna see. For the collective, I'm going to come up with some medical astrology tips, survival tips, and I will make sure that you guys get that very soon. Sure. Yeah, I have a lot of ideas for this channel, so definitely subscribe. So outer planet contacts. Jupiter through Pluto change relatively little between geocentric and heliocentric frames, since Earth's orbital radius is negligible compared to their distances. Their heliocentric aspects to Earth tend to be long-lasting, whether it's weeks or months, creating sustained underlying themes that color the daily geocentric weather. Alright, we just have a few more things to go over in this video, because it's getting pretty long. We're going to go over original methodologies, daily cosmic weather, Earth's heliocentric sign, and then appendixes, as well as calculation notes. Alright, so original methodologies here. We have about 6 we're going to go over. So the first is Gaia Resonance Index, or GRI. It measures the total angular pressure on Earth from all heliocentric planetary aspects. Each major aspect contributes a weighted score. Conjunction equals 10, opposition equals 8, square equals 6, trine equals 4, sextile equals 3. The sum divided by the number of active aspects yields the GRI 0 to 10 scale. So the formula here is GRI equals aspect weight multiplied by proximity factor dividing n aspects, where proximity factor equals 1, subtracting orb divided by max orb, and the current GRI is computed from live Gaia field contacts in Table 2. Horizon Flux Index, or HFI, tracks the rate of change in the ascendant degree over a 24-hour period at a given latitude. Because the ecliptic is inclined to the horizon, the ascendant moves at variable speed, faster near the equinoxes and slower near the solstices. The HFI quantifies this variation as a 0 to 10 index with higher values indicating faster rotational flux. The formula HFI equals ascendant per hour divided by mean hourly rate, multiplying by 5. Lunar Barycentric Pulse, or LBP, measures the moon's angular distance from the Earth-Moon barycenter's projection onto the ecliptic. The barycenter traces its own small circle when the moon is at maximum angular separation from the barycentric ecliptic position. The LBP peaks, indicating maximum emotional instinctual tension. So the formula here, LBP equals moon longitude subtracting barycenter longitude and divided by mod 180 mapped to 0 to 10 scale. Seasonal Gate Score, SGS, evaluates proximity to the 4 seasonal portals, equinoxes, and solstices. Within adding subtracting 5 days of a portal, the SGS reaches maximum 10, indicating heightened transitional energy. The score decays linearly to 0 at adding subtracting 30 days. The formula is SGS equals max 0 to 10 multiplied by 1 subtracting days to nearest portal, dividing by 30. Declination Tension Index, or DTI. So this sums the absolute declination values of all planets, weighted by whether they are OOB, out of bounds. Planets in bounds contribute their declination normally. OOB planets contribute at 1.5x weight. The DTI indicates the total vertical north-south tension in the current sky. The formula here is DTI equals declination multiplied by weight in planets where weight equals 1.5 if OOB, else 1.0, and scale 0 to 10. In solar system cartography vector SSCV, a composite vector sum of all planetary gravitational vectors acting on Earth expresses the direction, zodiacal longitude, in magnitude 0 to 10. The SSCV identifies the dominant pole direction in the solar system at any given moment. So the formula for each planet, I. Vector I equals mass I divided by distance I multiplied by direction I. So SSCV direction equals this. We see it'll be normalized to 0 to 10. Here is the daily cosmic weather reading Earth's sky. Daily cosmic weather integrates all the Earth system mechanisms into a single snapshot. And this is what an astrologer would read to understand the symbolic quality of any given day, the interplay of sun sign, moon sign, and phase, planetary stations, declination status, and seasonal context. This is specifically daily cosmic weather grid for August 6th. Key cosmic weather factors, all values computed from Swiss ephemeris. We see the sun position, Leo 14 degrees 3, moon phase, waning crescent, 45% lit, season summer, northern hemisphere, and Mars status is direct. Excuse me. Moon position, Taurus 19 degrees 17, moon declination is adding 22 degrees 31, the Mercury status is direct, axial tilt is 23.44 degrees obliquity. How to read the daily weather.